Predator Badlands. So, just a little of my backstory on the Predators, my feelings on the Predator franchise. So, naturally, probably like 99.9% of the people out there, Predator is like top tier movie for me. Just in the structure, the execution. Obviously, you can tell like there's a little bit of that it's a product of its time thing, but you could also tell that like somehow they managed to take like the limitations they had at the time and still make like a phenomenal movie. And so like to me that's always been like the pinnacle of the series. Sometimes with franchises like this, and I hate calling them franchise, IPs, whatever, like the series. Sometimes they take that original idea and then they really build upon it well. But Predator has always kind of struggled with really like hitting that the stride that the original one had. And when I was a kid, Predator 2 was like just more of something I liked. Watching it now, I can see like it's a little bit messier, a little bit more chaotic, but it's still a lot of fun and still like feels like more of the Predator that I like as opposed to where it kind of went later. And even Predators, I liked Predators a lot. I thought that I like the idea of like ensemble cast. You set them up as likable badasses, and then you kind of start picking them off one at a time. I didn't think the deaths were as memorable in that one. There's a few people that get killed off before they even have a chance to do anything. And then the Predator was really disappointing. Like that one, it was a shame because a lot of people, I think, thought because Shane Black was directing it and he wrote on the first one that we were in good hands. But, and I know a lot of the drama, like of the of like how they changed the whole ending of the movie, all that stuff. But still, like, I just felt like in general, the story wasn't as interesting. The setup for the movie wasn't that interesting. The characters, there were some fun characters, but they weren't as interesting. And then, like, when they all start dying, it's all, like, because of the dumbest things. It's never because the predator is killing them. It's always because they flew into a tree and got impaled by a branch, or they got their legs cut off by the shields of a spaceship. Like, it was all dumb stuff. And then Prey was, like, the first time it felt like the franchise was really kind of getting back to its roots, and having, like, a real kind of intense showdown with the Predator. Like, it didn't have as much of the ensemble cast, but overall, I felt like it really landed. And then the Killer of Killers animated movies, or the animated movie was like a really fun addition, like kind of expansive story. It wasn't quite like as a single cohesive movie as so much as it kind of felt like a really cool like lore expansion on the Predators. So that brings us to Predator Badlands. So, and AVP, not really going to talk much about that. They didn't really hit the way that I think they could have. So Predator Badlands. So what I will say is overall thought it was a great movie. Just on its own, not even like comparing it as like a Predator movie, just on its own. Like if you were like taking your kids out and you hadn't seen any Predator movies, this one's PG-13. It's still very violent, but it's PG-13, and the story overall is like really well told. The first scene with the Predator gets you right on its side. You understand where it's coming from. You understand why it's doing what it needs to do. And then from there, like it kind of becomes this really fun sci-fi action adventure movie. Like it's not a horror movie, like not like a sci-fi horror movie like a lot of the other Predator movies. There's definitely some horror elements, but it's definitely approached more from an action standpoint than like building up a lot of tension and payoff and tension and then scare, stuff like that. But the only criticism that I would have is there's a little bit of there's like one spot in the movie. I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. But there's like a spot in the middle of the movie where there's it's like a scene that's kind of really played for laughs. It involves the predator and another creature, and like I feel like for people that are casual viewers, they'll probably be really entertained by that and find it funny and cute. But as someone who really wants the predator to be this badass thing, it felt like a little out of place. But it's a minor criticism. I'm sure there's people out there that are saying, I know there's people out there that are saying, oh, Disney's ruining Predator. I don't really think that's the case here. I think this is really a extension of Predator lore that's been explored in comic books and other stories that really kind of focus on the predators themselves and what their role is in the universe. And I feel like Dan Trachtenberg's trying to tap into that with, not he could have went full on and just dumped a bunch of lore on us and been this is everything. But I feel like he's been very tastefully kind of giving us a little piece by piece, and building upon it. And what I really like about, because he directed Prey, he directed Killer of Killers, and he directed Badlands, I really think that Dan Trachtenberg is trying to build towards something, or at least set a pathway for other people to really make the Predators a franchise, again, I say franchise, I hate saying it, just a series that's can really go somewhere and do some really cool, interesting stuff, because there's not really anything else like it out there. These alien creatures that hunt the strongest in the universe. They have an honor code and stuff. They're not just out killing because they don't like people or whatever. And I'm really excited to see where they can take it from here. If I had to rank it with other Predator movies, it's really tough because, objectively, I think Predator 2 and Predators are okay movies, and I think this is a good movie. So my gut feeling is to put it below Predator but above all the other ones. But I think I should probably watch it again and really try to soak it in. I have a feeling this is the kind of movie that a lot of people are going to skip in theaters, and when it comes out on streaming, you're going to see a lot of people going, oh man, this was really good. I wish I'd seen it in theaters. I think if you are on the fence about it, you should go see this in a theater, because it's definitely a big experience, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just badass, man. I will say there's a couple things that happen in this movie that mirror the original Predator that I thought was really cool. Just little beats that kind of play into those little moments that happen throughout the original movie. And I didn't want to get into spoilers too much, just because I don't really like ruining stuff. Maybe if I was talking with other people, if I had someone else on the podcast want to talk about it, I'd be happy to go into spoilers. But yeah, so Predator Badlands, I think it's worth a watch, and you should check it out.